Why am I going to ask you? I'm just going to go do this. And if you don't like it, you'll back me off. But I feel like that is going to be the best for the company and for myself. And then when there's an opportunity, it'll be easy for that person to say, you're in. I think too many people are sitting back waiting to be told, I need you to go learn this. I need you to go learn that so that you can, one day move to that position. I've always been one that said, I don't think I need to get permission. I'm just going to go make myself more valuable. If I create the value, then the money will always follow. The opportunities always follow the value.
Hey everyone, I'm Jake Cronin, the founder and CEO of Xero, the AI platform for in-person sales teams. And this is Tactics, the show that dives deep with sales leaders across industries to uncover what top producing sales organizations do differently. In today's episode, we dig into some of the building blocks of success in sales leadership, building loyalty, trust, and accountability across your team. Tyler Slade is a general manager and dealer principal at the Tim Dahle Auto Group in Utah, and he joined me to talk about the importance of focusing on value creation over promotions and the one feedback rule that helped him get the best out of his team. We started on Tyler's background and the early moves he made in his career that set him up for success down the line. All right, Tyler, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks, Jake. I'm excited to be here. This is going to be a fun conversation.
I'm excited as well.
Let's roll.
Tyler, as someone who got such a crack start at sales and has always been long-term minded, how did you go about building your team when you first got into the manager role?
So luckily, I realized early in my career, day one, where I wanted to go. So I think it's critical to know where you want to go. Because I know where I wanted to go, I knew I was going to need a lot of people that trusted me, that liked me, that wanted to be on my team. When I had my first big opportunity to run this Nissan store as a general manager, I had literally a team of people that came with me, and they were loyal to me because I had worked with them and built a relationship of trust with them through several years. And so when I said, hey boys, we're going to a new dealership, they all said, great. And they got in the truck and we left. And then they're like, okay, where are we going? And I said, well, you'll know when we get there. And then when I pull in, they're like, oh, cool, this will be a good place. They didn't care.
Mm-hmm. How'd you build that loyal following?
Let me give it an anecdote. One of them came to me as a door-to-door vacuum salesman and has a girlfriend that is pregnant, and he doesn't know what to do but he knows he's got to take care of his soon-to-be child and wife. He comes and interviews with me, and I'm like, listen, Jake, I'm going to help you here. And his name's Jake too. So, and I'm like, but I want you to do this. I want you to just listen. I'm going to train you. I'm going to teach you how to make a good living so you can provide for your family. And I brought him on board, and that's exactly what he did. And I showed him the way on how to make enough money to support his family. So taking maybe someone who isn't necessarily one that you'd be like, hey, that's a surefire winner. I grabbed somebody who really needed the help, because I knew that he would be not only like he would listen to me because he needed to, but he would be loyal. And now that person is running his own store. And so I have a lot of examples of people just like that I just helped train them. So the idea was, if I want them to be loyal to me and I want that success, then I need to help them get success. And it all happened that way. And so now when it's like, hey, I need you to come with me to this store, like, they're gone, they're coming. The loyalty is with the person that builds their value. And I just wanted to help build their value.
What do you think other folks or other leaders are missing to not build that loyalty? What do you think a lot of leaders could be doing?
How do you spell love with your kids? Time. I think it's the same thing. I believe in the power of love. If somebody truly feels like you love them enough to spend extra time showing them, building them up, caring about their family, taking them out to dinner with their spouses, being that person and bringing them in and saying, hey, I've got a busy day today, but I'm going to spend 30 minutes with this employee in my office, and we're just going to talk about some things that maybe they need help with, or we can just talk through this about how they can make more money, be more successful. Have you thought about it this way? I think it's just spending time with them and helping them realize their potential. I get much more satisfaction out of seeing them make more money than myself. Like, okay, that was cool. But seeing this other employee hit a personal record of their yearly income, that's truly what floats my boat. And they know it. I'm all interested in that.
Have you always thought that way? Have your motivations always been set that way, or has that evolved later on in your career?
I think it started early. It started early when I realized I was an industry that I could excel in. I drew up a plan early on how I was going to excel in this plan. And it was more based on being less selfish and more giving to others, because the industry is not that. It's a selfish industry. And I figured if I could zig while everybody else is zagging, that it would pay off. So at an early point in my career, I knew that I needed to build a team through love.
The TIME, you only have so much time in the day. And you've got a big team, you got a lot of people under you. How do you manage your time, knowing that people need so much time to be developed and to cultivate those relationships and that loyalty?
One of the things that I love to do is when I'm in the sales office working a car deal, I'm paying attention to what's happening. Then after we either sell the car or we don't, then that's the post-op. And to me, that is a critical time where it's like, come here, salesman, and we'll walk out and we'll take a little walk around the lot. I'm like, all right, let's talk about the things you did well. Let's talk about the things that you want to do better. And then let them have that opportunity to share what they thought that they did well and what they need to do better. And then those coaching sessions post-mortem, whether we sold the deal or not, are the critical function in this. Because when you continue to do that, this employee is like, okay, Tyler really cares about me. It's building a lot of confidence in them so that, hey, in a coaching standpoint, next time I know they're going to be a litlittle bit better. And then time after that, I know they're going to be a little bit better. And that time it's guaranteed to help them they're going to make more money through this process. And so you don't necessarily, I'm not calendaring it per se, but I know when I see it because I have an opportunity after a deal just to go dissect it.
So you sort of built the habits around it. What percent of your time do you think is spent one-on-one with the front line?
I would say for the first half of my career, it was 95%. And now what I wish it could be is 95%. Now it's probably 40%, 50%.
You got to spend time hiring, dealing with issues, talking to folks like us.
That's right.
Taking all your time, yeah.
That's right. But what I think about what will make the most financial impact to my company is that one-on-one time. Although it takes time and it's slow, but why not think of the long run over the short run? I'm always a long-term thinker rather than a short-term.
How many locations are you now?
So we have 13 locations.
So how do you scale yourself across those locations? Like when you're not there in the building, which is most of the buildings,
right?
How does that culture still translate to the people in the front line?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that one of the things that has helped, again, beginning with the end in mind, knowing that at an early age in my career that I was going to need people. Most of the people now that are running these stores are those original people. So they already actually know what I'm going to say before I say it. Like I can call and one of them will say, listen, I already know what you're going to say. You don't need to say it. I'm on it. Okay, thank you. Click.
Could have just rung and hang up. Yeah, that's all you need.
Well, that's the easiest call in the world because we're already looking at the same thing. We already know. We're reading each other's mind, and that's a benefit. Now, if you don't have that benefit, that's a different story, right? But for someone who's just getting into an industry or just starting, I would be thinking about this. Like, I'm not just training them to be the best salesperson right now. I'm training them to be a future dealer or general manager or leader of people. And that way, when it all comes together in 10, 20 years, like it's pretty easy to know who you're going to call to go run this business or whatever it is. And that's what's happened for me.
How much time do you spend with those, like you're that core versus the front line, which of course, in sales or in dealerships, high attrition like any other difficult entry level job.
Right.
How much time do you spend with the front line versus your sort of core, the management layers?
My theory is now is to spend the time with leadership to teach them exactly what I'm telling you. It's like, okay, who are your people? When it's your turn, you've got to be developing the next round of people like I helped develop you. And so my question simply to them is like, okay, who's on your team now? Who's on your team? And they know what that means. They're like, okay, so-and-so, 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 they're on the team. The reason they're on the team is because we know that they have like they first of all, they really care. They're loyal. Okay. And you can trust them. Now, those three things are what we're looking for. Like, show me that you care a lot. Because if you care a lot, then I know that I've got the right guy. I got to be able to trust you. And then I got to be able to know that you're loyal. These are the people that I want you to go spend more time with and develop. Those are the people that are going to be the future leaders of this company. And so I'll spend time with the different general managers, identifying those people and maybe asking them, okay, what have you done this week to help so-and-so?
Yeah. I like that. Who's on your team?
And what's interesting about that is you'll get in positions where you're in a foxhole in a business where things are just crashing on you. Like, it is not good. And it seems like everything you're doing is wrong. You got financial pressure. Maybe you got shareholder pressure. Whatever the pressure is, it gets real. And it's like, we just had a bad quarter. Well, who do you want in that foxhole with you, right? And I love gathering them in a room and saying, boys, gals, we're in a foxhole. And we got to get out of here. And it's not going to be pretty. And how are you going to respond? And these are people, again, that I trust and they're loyal and that care. To a T, every single one of them charged the goal. Like, got out of the foxhole and charged the enemy, right? Whatever that enemy is, figuratively. And to see the wins that have come from that over my career, how do you think that's helped with the trust, the loyalty, and the care between each other?
Well, it's a virtuous cycle.
That's right.
Where the more you have those moments, those crucible moments, the sort of deeper you get together.
It's interesting because we had one that didn't get out of the foxhole, and it shocked me. I'm like, there is a person that didn't get out of the foxhole, figurative foxhole. And right then and there, I knew that it was only a matter of time, that we were going to be separated. And sure enough, within a year, hey boss, this isn't working out for me. And he left. And I didn't spend any time trying to save this person because he didn't fit the criteria, right? And that was just a kind of an eye-opener to me, because I remembered when he didn't get out of the foxhole. I'm like, that's probably going to mean that we're going to come to an end.
Which is kind of painful.
It is painful.
Yeah.
It is painful. But and it wasn't anything deliberate I did to push this person out, but it was just, it didn't fit the culture of the team that were ready to go charge that enemy wall and break through whatever we needed to break through.
What are you excited about the way the industry is shifting right now? What are you seeing as changes and what's exciting?
We use the buzzword AI. And it's like a catchphrase, right? And everybody's like, it's almost overused now, and people are like, stop it. Tell me what you really mean. And I've recently seen some things with AI where it's actually very actionable data that's helping generate revenue, or it's actionable things that I didn't know. One of the things I love is when an employee comes in and says, hey boss, did you know? Like, I like to create a culture of, hey, did you know? And the reason I like that is because I don't typically know it all. Maybe I do know. That's not the point. When someone says, hey boss, do you have a minute? Did you know? And whatever they tell me, if I did tell them, or if I did know, it's like, yeah, I did know that. But maybe it's only 1 out of 10 where they say something I didn't know. That's my blind spot. I need to know that. So I want to foster a culture of, hey boss, did you know? Well, AI is now allowing us to do a little bit of that without the human having to come knock on my door, where I'm like, oh, okay, I did not know that. I didn't think about it that way. And now I can get ahead of this. And again, my industry is slow to move when it comes to tech. It's an old school business. It's an old model. But if you marry the old school model that still works with some of these new AI companies and ways to get better information, that to me is the sweet spot right now. Let me give you an example. Ciro's been that, hey, did you know, for me from an AI standpoint, which I get more excited about, is because my finance managers, who are now trained to ask every customer when they come into the office, Ciro's listening, and it's the finance managers are trained to say, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, tell me what brought you in today. Why did you choose Tim Dahle Nissan? Let them give their spiel. And then usually it's too superficial. Like, I was, on Google and I was looking for a car and your name popped up. And I'm like, okay, now finance people, I need you to ask follow-up. Okay, so
peel the onion.
Yeah, peel that onion. And so I'm trying to train the finance guys on peeling the onion back. And I'm like, I don't need you to remember anything they said, because that's what Ciro's going to do. And then as they peel the onion back and then they move into selling the car, then Ciro is now taking all that data, literally hundreds of thousands of transactions. And then I go to Ciro and said, hey, tell me, what source was my best source last month? What brought in the most customers? Guess what? It's binary data. It's a computer that has no bias, who has no skin in the game, whether it should be some advertising company telling me, hey, look how much we brought you. Well, they have bias, right? Because they want us to continue with this radio ad or whatever it is. Well, Ciro doesn't have that bias.
Yeah.
It's just giving me the flat data. Hey, Tyler, did you know? I'm like, no, I didn't. Please tell me. Well, you actually had 45% of your business came from your Google Home listing. And the reason they went to Google Home was actually because they saw a video pre-roll ad on YouTube that drove them to your Google You. And I'm like, okay, see, I didn't know that.
That's incredible. Yeah.
So it wasn't really Google, it was YouTube. Same company, but
different content, different effort on your side.
And where I spend the money is different.
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm saying, hey, YouTube pre-roll, I need to do more there. I can see it's clearly working. Meanwhile, the traditional radio guys coming in saying, oh no, that was us. I'm like, you know what? If they would have said, I heard you on the radio, Ciro would have picked that up.
Yeah. Huh. How surprised have you been by those insights?
I've been doing this for 30 years now. It's fired me back up because I'm a tech guy anyways.
Yeah.
I love technology. And now I have technology to help me be a better dealer. Think about this. It's re-engaged me in the business after 30 years. I'm like, okay, this is something that is new and it's exciting and it can help me generate more revenue. It can help me do everything I've said about in the past about developing people, helping them achieve their goals with their family. Like, that's what floats my boat. And finally, I have something that's giving me that excitement again that I had earlier in my career. And then it kind of gets mundane. And now here I am like, okay, I know that my fellow competition, they're typically not thinking this way. And now I've got something that I can actually get ahead of them.
A new edge.
A new edge.
I want to talk about feedback because it's like such a critical thing in particularly sales roles and just for any direct report. How do you do feedback effectively as someone who's built an incredibly loyal base of supporters?
You know, I've coined it myself. Maybe someone else has said it this way, but I've said, you know, I like to employ the 5-to-1 rule. And in my early career, it's 5-to-1. It's interesting how now it's gone to 10-to-1, but let me explain. I learned early that if I wanted to, again, I've got people that are loyal, I got people that I trust, and people that care. And what I do to make sure that those three things continue in constant force is I want to give them 5 really good, hey, attaboys. Like, you know what, Jake? You did this and it was awesome and I noticed, and you are extremely talented. These are genuine, absolute genuine, you did this good moments, compliments. They can't be fake. Like, people read through that. They got to be real things. And if you do that 5 times, if I did that to the Jake I spoke about 5 times, that earned me 1 critical feedback. And when I did it that way, because I've already been built up as someone that they know that I care about them.
Yeah.
And I gave them that 1 critical piece of feedback. For example, Jake let somebody leave the lot A customer left the lot without contacting the manager. So in the car business, you should never allow that. Like a salesperson before a customer leaves needs to go touch the desk and say, hey, so-and-so needs to leave. Here's what's happening. Then we have an opportunity to have manager intervention because we don't know what we don't know. Well, Jake let somebody go. And because I've already done the 5 compliments and now he's done something that is against the rules. Like you can't. So Jake, come on, let's go talk. We go walk on the lot. And I really drilled him. I drilled him about the importance. And it was hard. It was hard for him to hear, but he needed to hear it. And he knew that I liked him. He knew that I trusted him. He knew that I was only doing this to help him. The problem is if you only do critical analysis, if you only do critical feedback, then they're just going to tune you out. Mm-hmm. So do you think Jake ever did that again?
I would hope not.
He did not. He did not do that ever again. And like I said, now he's running a store and doing incredible things and teaching the next generation the same thing. But now it's moved to 10-1. We've learned that it's a little bit harder with the newer generation coming into the car business. I don't know if it's in all industries, but we've got to be a little bit more patient of building them up before we come really hard.
Earn the rights to, earn the trust to.
Earn the rights and earn the trust.
What about when you have someone who's like, man, I've got 20 critical things for you in the last 10 minutes. Like when there's so many things, is it not a disservice to withhold that feedback?
I would say prioritize. A lot of the things are going to be tied into a similar bucket. Maybe it really is the they don't care enough bucket. And all those kind of fall in. If they did care enough, then most of these would be solved. So I would look for that pattern.
Kind of like what's upstream. You're doing all these things because you don't care. Well, let's talk about why you don't care and let's really get digging there.
I would really look further upstream. Exactly. You said it better than me. To see if there's a commonality there where we can just attack that issue. So
if you have to withhold yourself to only one piece of critical feedback per 5, 10 attaboys, that really does force you to try to find the theme, prioritize, find the upstream. It's like a pretty cool forcing function.
How many people, Jake, you personally, do you have stewardship over? And how many of those people would love to hear a good, positive feedback from you today?
As you're talking to me, you're making me feel like, man, I am not that good of a manager.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But if it's on your mind and you're thinking about it every day, even if it's an elevator moment, and you're like, you got an elevator pitch to talk to so-and-so about how well he or she is doing in this area, you need to have it on the top of your mind because you'll be surprised how many opportunities you'll get to be able to do that. And you are going to win their hearts. And when you win their hearts, you get their shoulders, which means they'll do anything for you. So think about how you're going to win their heart.
How do you, when you're in that, let's say when you're getting in the foxhole, you're in one of those moments, things are getting darker, the hallway is getting narrower. How do you get time, or do you still spend so much time thinking about the people elements, putting yourself in the shoes of your people, what's in it for them, when there's also your business is going to die. Like this is life or death for your business. And sort of that thing needs your attention. How does the amount of attention you give to your people ebb and flow depending on the state of the business?
I would argue that your best chance to save your business are those people on your team, right? Your best chance to knock down that enemy coming out of the foxhole, you cannot do it yourself. They're going to come up with ideas you never even thought about and ideas that you don't even have to present. But they're doing it because they care, they trust you, and you trust them, and you have that loyalty, and they just want to survive with you. They don't want to see you fail either. They don't want to fail. They're going to come up with ideas that you never would have proposed.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of this, a similarly related, a great strategy poorly executed gets destroyed by a bad strategy well executed.
That's right.
I want to get into the lightning round. First, what's your favorite sales book?
Good to Great.
Good to Great.
Absolutely.
Why?
Good to Great opened my mind that there is no limit to greatness. There's always more to developing people.
What's your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Pluribus, actually, right now.
Okay. Huh.
Because of the unification of the minds, it's a real freaky sci-fi thing, but it's, again, if all the people combine their minds, how cool would that be to get the right data out?
How powerful it can be. Huh. What are your 3 favorite software tools?
I would say my CRM, which would be Vin Solutions, because that tracks all my customers. Xero right now is my top because it's using AI to get me data of, hey, did you know, at the most efficient scale possible.
Mm-hmm.
And
very happy to hear that one.
Continue. Yeah. I mean, and then number 3 would be probably my Meta glasses.
I love it.
Just because it's using AI in a hardware fashion that's actually practical in many ways.
One plug for Meta. What's your favorite thing about the Meta glasses?
That's a hard one. I like the real time being able to record or take a picture in the moment. It can capture things that you wouldn't capture with any other device because it's already there. I'm riding my mountain bike. I can ask it to record, and I keep my hands on the handlebars to stay safe in the mountains of Utah, and I capture something that I'd never been able to capture before.
Final question. What's your favorite sales tactic?
The assumptive close. I think that we, as salespeople, ask too many times for the sell. When, if you do a good job, if you present the features, advantages, and benefits, don't ask for the sell. Move forward with the sell. Assume the sell. Like, you already know they like the car. You already know that they want to get rid of their trade-in. You already know that the deal is good. You already know the interest rate and financing is handled. Okay, I need your driver's license and I need your insurance card so that we can get the paperwork going, because my goal is to get you in and out really fast. Because keep in mind, Mr. Customer, I'm not interested in this transaction. I'm interested in a lifetime relationship, so that not only you, but your friends and family will want to buy from me because you have such an incredible experience with the car you love and people you trust. So license and insurance card, Jake, and we'll get this deal wrapped up.
I love it. What's so cool about that line too is it's so real with the economics of dealerships. That's true. Like, you say it from the heart.
Yeah.
The loyalty is what is important.
If it means this car deal, and this is the only time we're going to see each other, and it's a transaction, then it's a transaction. I'm not interested in that. Like, if you really want the car, I'll do it, but that's not exciting to me. Like, what's more important to me, that you have such a good experience, that you love the car, that you love the experience, that you love the deal so much that you'll only come back and buy cars from me, and you'll tell all your friends and family to come buy from me. That is the whole point of me doing this business.
Well, thank you so much for coming here today. It's been amazing hosting you at the office, and I think this was a really valuable conversation for people who are listening.
It's fun to sit back and just kind of think about some of these things in a podcast form and articulate them after 30 years of doing this. So thank you for the opportunity.
Of course, my pleasure. And thanks for watching. We're here to help you level up as a sales leader. So please tell us what you would like to hear on the next episode. And if you do have an in-person sales team, be sure to check out Xero.ai. I'm Jake Cronin. Until next time.